All right, good morning again. I am Wallaber, and I am still working on Pro Gymnast. um, Last week I made some really good progress on getting together a new version of the game that had a bunch of improvements to the first pack of levels, mostly. And so this week, I'm going to be a little bit more working my way through my task list, and then I think every day, I spend about an hour every day on the project. I want to try and get a task or two done, and then go in and take a look at a few levels and kind of repeat that process. And hopefully over the course of the next week or two, task list is going to get a lot shorter, and I'm going to start feeling like the levels are in more of a final state. So one of the things I was working on a little bit off stream. Good morning, BitGamey. Yes, I do have a plan, and as usual, it's written down on little sticky notes all over my desk here. Alright, so one of the things I was working on outside of stream is I took that version that I had finished up late last week, or actually on Saturday, and I actually uploaded it onto itch. So the Windows version of the game on itch right now is that new version. And some of my early players who have been around enjoying the game and since the alpha sent me a bunch of feedback, and so I've got a handful of things I was working on as a result of that. One was so I've been slowly switching the game over to this new quote-unquote cinematic camera, which I think is a little more exciting camera angle. You can look at it here. So right now the default is this kind of somewhat sort of right-facing camera. Let's go like this. Yeah, the sort of right-facing, kind of a little bit more dynamic-looking camera, a little more 3D, which I think is more fun and more, exciting to look at for kind of just the casual player or the, hey, let's play this game where you fail a lot kind of player. The original camera, you can still find, you go here to adjust camera, and now I have follow accuracy, which is the much more sort of side view camera. Makes it a little easier to judge distances and, where exactly the hands of the gymnast are in comparison to, the objects in the game, etc. I hadn't really finished this whole option here to change camera view, so what happens is every time you entered a level, it defaults to the default camera view, which previously had been that accuracy one that all my alpha players were used to. And when I switched to this dramatic camera, it meant that all those players, every time they would say hit retry, they would be back at this camera view, and they'd have to go over here and switch this to accuracy and then hit resume, but then if they just reset, it would go back. So I've changed it now where it actually does save this setting. So even if you for some reason like playing the game from the drone view, it's going to remember that when I hit retry. It's going to remember that when I come out here and go play different levels and stuff. So that setting sticks now, which I did that, as I mentioned, sort of in just some random time over the weekend when I had a few minutes here or there. The other thing is that I have updated the project to the latest version of Unity 2019.4, and there used to be a built-in thing where if you wanted it, you could have it when you double-click the application, a little resolution selector would pop up. Do you want to be full screen or not? What resolution do you want to run the game at? And it had some weird input mapping stuff, which wouldn't have applied to this game because I'm not using Unity's built-in input, but that little dialogue was quite useful for players because if they have like a really strange monitor setup or something, they could select the options they needed. And one of the players mentioned they have a really wide monitor and they didn't like playing the game full screen because some of the UI was not fitting the screen well. So I kind of had to do two things. One is I needed to support actually changing the resolution inside the game. So I spent a little bit of time on that. So now if you go to audiovisual settings, you can see up here you've got screen resolution you can choose from. I'm playing this in Unity Editor right now, so this won't take effect, but this, you know, is all the resolution supported by your monitor kind of thing, and then full screen or not. So I got that basically working, so hopefully that's gonna help. I do need to likely save these settings so that they stick and restore as well. But at least they're there now. That's only a do it once when you launch the game thing, so that's good. So I could keep working on that a little bit. And actually one of the other things is I'm trying to go through and make the game better handle different aspect ratios, particularly wider ones. So looks much better than the default Unity resolution setting screen. Thank you. It's probably just because it's in the game and it's using the game UI. Now the downside of that is the first time you launch, it's going to launch in whatever I have set, I believe, in here. If I go to player settings, yeah, here. I believe, where is it? Resolution and presentation. So right now I have it set to, by default, go to full screen and try to run it 1080p, essentially. So if for some reason that's not good for you, like your computer has a problem with it, you may have trouble launching the game. If you can get in, then you could change things, you know. So that's a little tricky. Probably the safest thing would be to do full screen native resolution. So it's like we're just going to go to full screen at whatever your monitor is, which is probably what I should do. Yeah, and then yeah, we'll see here. So I could try seeing what these different, if actually changing the supported aspect ratios thing makes a difference. Luckily I have another computer here that has a really wide monitor attached to it, so I can test this out occasionally by making builds and running them on the other machine. Anyway, so there was I spent a little time over the weekend, and I think I got most of the UIs, the UI layouts, handling things a little better when you get different aspect ratios. Luckily that is relatively easy to test. So for example, I could go here to like the main game UI, turn that on. So here it is, right? I've got these prompts along the bottom here to remind you of things. I got a score counter and stuff in the upper areas. And if I switch to say 21:9, you'll see now that I've got it working pretty well. Nothing's going off the top or bottom. Things are expanding out a little bit sideways. Right, here's 16:10, here's 16:9, here's 4:3, which is pushing it a little bit. Although I don't know if 4:3 it's gonna happen all that much. So that's working pretty good. Most of the sort of UI-based screens using Unity's UI system I now have more or less working correctly. There's probably a few, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set here to 21:9, which is a pretty wide monitor, and kind of test in that mode. Yeah, I'm curious if anyone still uses 4:3 as well, Bitgaming. I don't know. Maybe in like windowed mode, if you for some reason you want to play the game and maybe have something else on the side of the screen, maybe. Yeah, I probably don't. I mean, that would be the most extreme narrow aspect ratio I would test against. Either way, this is still much, much, much better than trying to make a game for mobile these days, where the aspect ratios of the screens are pretty different. Basically, the worst case is a iPad, which essentially is a 4:3 aspect ratio, at least if you're in landscape mode, or even if you're in portrait, it doesn't really matter. It's, you know, it's like this. And then the phones get narrower and narrower and taller to pretty extreme differences these days. So that makes surviving the different aspect ratios even worse on mobile. Okay. Now there was one area where if you have even just slightly narrower than 16:9 aspect ratio, you have a problem, which is some, like I was saying, most of my layouts that use the Unity's UI system, I've now got them mostly kind of handling it pretty well. I did have to change quite a few of these, by the way, to even just to support the wider aspect ratio. But I do have some sections of the game where the menu content is kind of like in the world as opposed to just UI on the screen. And those I might need a little bit of a solution for. So let's go look at this first real quick. I hope that's gonna still be fine. But so if I, for example, if I set this to like even like 16:10, I think you'll be able to see the problem. Mobile resolutions are insane. Some of the latest high resolutions, yeah, not only the aspect ratio is being different, but also the actual just pixel resolution is wild. So a lot of games have to do some things like rendering to a lower resolution for the main gameplay or something just to keep up, because that's a lot of pixels. Okay, so for example, ooh, this is busted now. I'm gonna have to fix this. The beta text is off the screen. This looks okay. This looks okay. So like this screen is fine because it's such a narrow piece of content here. There's never a scenario. And because the default way the 3D cameras work is that the FOV is describing the height, how much you can see up and down. And so the aspect ratio then decides how far off to the sides you get to see, which works. So this particular layout here is pretty resilient because I've got it set to see the height I want. And so you'd have to go to a very narrow aspect ratio before you start losing content here. But this screen is the problem one, because right now you can see that the buttons for next location and previous location are clipping off the edges of the screen. And you can tell that I must have laid this out at 16:9 because 16:9 looks nice, see? Nice and balanced. And if I go even wider, right, we're just going to see more to the left and right, which in this case is fine. So I need a solution where if we're too narrow here, I need to back this camera up a little bit. Obviously the 4:3 case, or even the 3:2 case, is even worse. 4:3 is going to be even worse, right? 5:4, I don't think I would worry about that one. But I kind of need a general solution for this. I think this is the only screen with this problem. Like, let's look, because if I go down and say I want to play a level, this screen's suffering from it a little bit too. Okay, I really would like to see that far on the width. So I need to think of a nice little solution here where I can move this camera back a little bit if we can't fit everything on the screen. That's basically what we need to do. Obviously, and we're only going to worry about the case where we need to back up. We're not going to worry about the case where we would ever zoom in, which is never going to be the case actually, because we still have the height here as our kind of limiting factor. So let's go look at these. First one is this one. All right, and so what we have here is that we have this, we have a camera right here, which is sort of just set to, in this particular spot in space, and it's set to look here. So probably what we could do is we could just do some simple math on this. Right. So we have our field of view for the camera. We ought to be able to use that to work out how far away we need to be from something for it to fit on the screen on the to be on the extreme left or right edge of the screen. So what we could do is put something on this camera, a little script on this camera. That's probably the way we should do that. Okay, so we're gonna make a, what is this gonna be? This is gonna be a, maybe like a utility script. Feels kind of utility-ish. So we're gonna call this actually, you know what? Alright, my first instinct is usually to just write a new script for something like this, but I'm realizing that I think I can solve this problem with Cinemachine. Because what I do here is I create, let's try this. So we're going to go like this. We're going to go Cinemachine, create a, not a target group camera, but we want to go like this. We want to, let's go to the poster canvas. Do I want to actually, let's put it here. Create empty. So we're going to say poster canvas group. Okay, and then this is going to be a Cinemachine target group. Okay, we're going to go find the poster's position. I don't like that. I'm just going to place it manually. Let's see. Man, these gizmos are a little crazy. Okay, so here is this little framing object. We're going to get it kind of generally placed here. This isn't really going to matter the placement of this too much because the way this thing works is kind of cool. So what we do is you give it these targets. So we're going to give it 2 transforms here. I think actually I can just use my where are they? Where is this? Previous location and next location. So if we go here and we add these transforms in as targets, and this is going to be hard to see, I think, because of all of the gizmo action going on here. Oh, okay, but that's going to be centered like that. So we need something now to handle the vertical. Let's see. So actually, let's do this differently. Let's get rid of these. What we're going to do is on our poster canvas, we're going to create an empty. This is going to be bounds top left. So this is like what we need to be able to see. We need to be able to see at least from here. And then we need bounds bottom right. And we need to be able to see all the way over to here, and we need to be able to see all the way down to here. So now this canvas group, if it has these bounds, this one and this one, this thing basically creates a little bounding volume. And we could give this a tiny bit of padding, essentially. And then what we can do is we can say the map camera is actually going to be using the framing transposer. Okay, and it's going to follow this group. Okay, because then this thing has a thing down here where you're like, how should it try to fit this thing? We're gonna say, yeah, horizontal and vertical. It needs to fit both. It's only gonna, we could either have it dolly or we could have it zoom. I might actually want it to zoom, just so that this camera doesn't move around too much. We'll see about that. Where is it right now? Woo! Okay, so the problem is right here, the FOVs. Maybe we only want this thing to dolly. Okay, probably best now to go in and actually look at these settings live. So we're gonna save. We're gonna run. Okay, so we come in here. Look at this screen. Okay. First of all, okay, see? So even if I say I'm a 4x3 screen, this thing's gonna zoom out and try and handle that. 16 by 10, 16 by 9, super wide. Okay, that's already looking pretty good. There's like a little weird pop when I switch resolutions, but that's not something you're gonna see happen in game. Now I think I don't need this much padding. Let's try putting these radiuses down to 0. There we go, getting a little closer like that. Now let's look at it even more narrow. Nice. Yeah, see? See? Okay, there. It's so wide. Okay. Here's being constrained by height. All these other ones, it was being constrained by width. Okay. So, what did I change so far? Okay. Let's go back to these and look at them again. Yeah, see, so really what I'm saying is I want a little more padding on the height. You know, just a little bit. Okay. And then let's go back and look at this camera. The map. It has a target, which is... I forgot where that was getting set. Yeah, I wonder... I remember my story letters. Oh, it's the story letters screen. This one. Messes with that camera, right? It's got a camera target on off. Right. Oh, cool. So the problem is that these just shouldn't be a child of the camera anymore because this camera can move now. So let's just go like this. Let's go... let's just make a new one called cam map targets. Okay, make that a sibling of the camera map. This is all happening right behind my head, isn't it? Oh, it's not that exciting. And we're gonna grab all these transforms and move them to this so that... Oh wait, before I do that, let's set this. Oh, okay, actually I like that positioning. Alright, so these go like this. And then the map target would be here. And by default, the main target would be right there as well. Okay. Then what we should do is this camera is pointing at, yes, that target. Okay, cool. So we can save that. Okay. All right, I think, look at that, look at that. I didn't even have to write a script. All right, so that looks pretty good. We're a little far now. Oh, did I not? Okay, I think I left my, where is it? Where is my, the map is looking at this, right, which is here. Yeah, I don't want any radius on these anymore because I put them right at the edges that I want to show. Okay. So now we're going to need to do the same thing for the level select down below. Let's just check this one more time now. So here we are in 4x3. Who's playing this game in 4x3? I don't know, but look at that. They can see stuff now. Cool. Let's check out the 3x2 player. Yep, they're good. 16x10 player, 16x9 player, 21x9 player. Cool. The next location on the right over there kind of gets hidden behind the UI a little bit in the cases where we're... Yeah, so we need to make sure... that we give ourselves a little more room above. Which, it's going to offset it a little bit in all resolutions. So there, so that looks pretty nice. And what about our extreme case? Okay, I think that's probably acceptable. Right? And then... Whoa, narrow. Cool. Okay. So now we gotta fix this one. Which we should be able to do essentially the exact same way. So what we're gonna do is we've got the camera for the level list. Here it is. Okay. We need to do the same thing. So we had this one. I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna copy the group I made for the poster canvas, and now this is going to be the level select group. Okay, and then this canvas, the level select canvas, let's turn off the gizmos a little so we can see what we're doing, is going to get a bounds top left. It should be right there, and a bounds bottom right, which should be right about here. We want to make sure we can see the thumbnail. Okay. So that should be close-ish. So now I can go to this new group I created and swap out these references, like so. Then the level list camera also is going to need its target separated out. So let's make an empty called cam level list target. Okay. Clean up the hierarchy here a little bit. Go like that. Put this here. Okay, so now this camera should now have a framing transposer, and it should be following, quote unquote, the level select group right there. And we want it to horizontal, vertical, fill the screen fully, and only dolly. Okay. All right. Yeah. I think that's it. Let's run it and see. Okay, play. First timer. Here we are. Okay, we can fit. Right now we're playing in 4x3 mode. And now if I come down here, we can see all that content pretty good. If we upgrade our computer slightly to a 3x2 monitor, we're still seeing it. If I upgrade our computer slightly to a 16x10 monitor, upgrade our computer even more to a modern widescreen aspect ratio, and then we go buy the wacky super wide monitor. Cool. Okay. So I think those are my tricky screens that have these sort of like in-world UIs that needed to handle resolutions a little better. So that was nice. That was a pretty easy fix. Cool. BitGamey says, nice job. Thanks. Mostly you just gotta remember some of these tools are at your disposal. That probably was a lot faster than me going back and writing out a bunch of trigonometry and trying to work out how far back to push a camera to fit something on the screen. Although I do encourage writing scripts like that from time to time, because it's important to know that stuff, not just know how to use built-in tools. But in this case, I'm going with it. All right. So we fixed those. Cool. Let's see. All right, we got about half an hour left today. I'm looking at my task list. None of these are easy half hour or less tasks, with the exception of this one. Okay, let's do this real quick. So the which one is it? Is it the this does not have a camera, right? Okay, so it's actually the Bungie player holder, right? It has a camera with a dumb name. This should be Bungie camera, so we can save that. What I'm doing now is in a couple of my tutorials when there's a fixed camera of some kind and that camera gets turned off or changed, we're just cutting to the game camera instead of transitioning to it. So I'd like to fix that. And that should be okay. We've got some weirdness here now. Where is our I think in prefabs, props, we made a fixed camera prop, right? Cam underscore fixed camera. Why is that one not showing up in our blends asset? Oh, now it shows up because we've looked at it once. Ooh, that's a little scary. So I wonder if this is struggling because of asset bundle stuff. Because we want to say anytime we go to the fixed camera and anytime we go from the fixed camera, we wanted those. And then this one should be the Bungie camera. Right? Ooh, is it because I'm in the menu scene right now? Weird. I'm a little less familiar with this blends asset. Okay, so see there, now it's finding some of this stuff. Okay. Weird. Yeah. I'm not sure how well this thing handles cameras that are like inside prefabs and stuff. Like, see, now it's in this list, but it wasn't before. It's a little concerning. Okay. But I think that's that. See if that fixes that. Oh yeah, we also wanted to look at this. So I think it's probably here. Game UI. One thing I was noticing is when you're in a tutorial level, if you're like goofing off and you do a trick or something, normally I have all the score and everything hidden in the tutorials. But there is the combo meter was popping up. So that's probably this. Here we do score trick That's probably where it's happening. We kind of want to not do this if you're in a tutorial, I guess. And allow scoring. That feels like that should be preventing that. Okay, so that's actually only tracking if the gymnast is knocked out. Right. Right here. Okay, so I don't really want to overload that with another meaning, so where do we want to intercept this? Two spot. I mean, so this feels like kind of the spot. No, that's not the right one. I don't know if this is the best place to do this, or if I should probably find a way to do this at a higher level, but that will probably fix it, and I don't think that will introduce any side effects. Alright, did we change any? I don't think we changed any asset bundles, but let's build them anyway. So let's use the remaining time today to look at a few levels. Okay. So, I think what I want to do is to continue to go through my existing levels and take a look at them. And then I also probably need to make some more. Well, I certainly need to make a few more because the Tokyo location is a bit underwhelming at the moment with the amount of levels it has. Okay. Should be almost done. Any second now. Okay. Alright, so maybe I should quickly just go remind myself, and let's just go down the list, right? So let's go here to scenes, load up our level database real quick. Oh, and I made improvements to the tripwire, so I think I can mark that one level that's up here. Where is it? Oh, I already did. Okay, cool. Alright, so today let's work on sliding leap, release timing, and just through, and maybe we make it to trust fall. We'll see. All right. Okay, back to the game scene. I wonder if I should give myself like a debug shortcut so that when I've got the game running, I could pop over and look at the level database. Okay, level data, load level. Sliding leap is the first one. This one. This is a pretty simple level. Basically, you just slide down this path. Over there. What? Okay. And getting the chalk here is not super easy there. You need to do it like that, where you do that count. didn't see. So I actually got the chalk after I grabbed the bar there. And I think if you stay fully extended like that, you can get it, but then it makes grabbing the rope kind of tricky. I should let go sooner. Okay. Let's see if I can... I remember that this is doable, but quite hard. Yeah, you can barely grab onto the rope at all. Okay. I mean, the tricky thing with this one is where else do you put the chalk, you know? I mean, I could put it up high, so you have to go like that, and then grab the rope somehow. You know, like that or something. Or make it that you need to, like, flip up like this and hit the chalk there or something like that, and then you have to, like, take a second pass at the rope. Which should be pretty tricky. Something like that. I don't know. This is still pretty early in the game. I don't know if we need it to be that difficult. Then again, I mean, it's not the end of the world to have a level 2 where you just kind of get the chalk, you know? It doesn't have to be an amazing challenge for every level. Right now, it's pretty difficult. I don't know if you can get it that way. Stretch out? No, see. Okay. Let's see. Where else could we put it? I mean, we could put it like... We could put it up high. This should be comparatively easy. So there's the like, oh darn it. I missed it. Right. So it's definitely not to get it by default at that height. Let's see if it's even doable. Oh! Maybe I gotta give it a little extra swing here. Okay. That was kind of satisfying. More satisfying than the low chalk, I think. Maybe I could drop it a little lower even. It's doable, but it's actually kind of tricky. I'm doing this little maneuver here to give myself more swing. Oh. Let's see if I don't do that. Can I get it with just kind of a... like an arm and leg pull here? Stretch out. Got it. Okay. Okay. Let me put it down like one notch. This is a level where the time requirement is going to be hard to come up with an interesting number for. It's a fairly deterministic amount of time. I mean, there's like small variations here based on just how you fling yourself at the bar, right? 5.19. 4.98. I mean, I guess I do that. I set it to 5 seconds. Seems pretty doable. But there's definitely cases where it's more than 5 seconds, right? Yeah. Okay, I mean, I guess that's the way it's going to be on this level. Okay, now what about score? Another one where kind of getting any score at all is... I mean, one flip... Oh, jeez. Let's see. I guess I want to differentiate between flipping and not, right? So no flip, 1,500 points. Play that again. Yeah, okay, you could get as low as 25 points. Interesting. You could even get 0 points. Okay, but if you do a flip, that's 525. Try it again. There's minor variances that can happen here depending on when you release. That'll be more, yeah, because I made like one more 8th rotation or something. Double flip, 4,900. I mean, do we want... I don't know if we need a double. 5,000. Alright, once again, what's a single flip? Whoa! How was that 25 points? I guess I let go really late. Interesting. Maybe we do need a double flip to make this interesting. Oh, went right through it. That was my fault, I was holding the release button. Yeah, okay. Alright. What if we get... So if we said like 2,000 points or something. That one I feel like would have been good enough. That was 1,900. Interesting. Why was that one 3,000? Is that airtime thing? Oh. Actually feeling like the scoring is a little weird. So that one was, it's compounding because you're holding a tuck. Right, because I've got some scoring for positions. Like here, a pike is gonna add up pretty quick. Whereas if you just sort of I don't know. Alright, so we're gonna say, I think we're gonna say 2,000. Yeah. Okay. So we were close. Let's make it 2,000. Save that. Mark it green. Load the next one. Release timing. So this one is another sort of, this is a pretty simple level. Well, the bottom part's not simple, I guess. So you come up here, and mostly you just need to let go and catch onto this bar. And then this bar is on a timer. So you've only got a certain amount of time over here before it starts heading back. Yeah. And then you need to land. Oh, you know what we could do? Let's do this. So this is a level where I would love a bigger target region down here. So we're going to get rid of this. And instead, we're going to use this. Yeah. So that should be easier now because there's more area to grab. Although, you can hurt yourself more because you can hit your head. Oh. I've downloaded the latest build, but the default camera on own level is not the one I'd like. If I change it in settings, it always goes back to the old one after I reset. Is there anything I can do? Yes. Unfortunately, what you can do, though, is you can wait a few days for me to update the build because I have fixed that. So now whatever, if you go into here and you choose adjust change camera, this is going to be saved now. So I've got that fix done. And I just need to finish up this, a few of these other fixes. I also fixed several things related to screen resolution, and that will all be in a build that I'll be getting out in a few days. Oh no, okay. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for dropping by, appreciate it. Okay. Yeah, so this one... You get some weird swing here, but we basically want you to drop off and kind of come around somehow and grab onto that. I don't know though. I don't love the ending of this level. Yeah, It's called release timing, and here is a timing thing here, right? I wonder if we try and make this more sort of timing related here, where it's like you need to let go at the right time so you can fly through a hole or something. I think that might be more interesting. Let's see, so that would be more like something like this. Like that, and then this would also be like this, and the idea is, hey, you need to fall through this hole and grab, and then in that case I might even want to make it a rope that you're grabbing onto, so there's no hit your head danger. Kind of wish I had a way where I could make a, or maybe I should make it P-bars. That would be better. Put this like this so that you don't hit the wall. Okay, then let's get rid of these. Let's make this instead parallel bars. Yeah, a good set them at an angle maybe. Okay, let's have a look at this. Oh, overcompensated on the grab there. Somewhere around here, we just let go. Oh, a little higher. Okay. So then you would be like, okay, here we go, and now. That's cool. I like that better. Now the theme of this level is a little more consistent. It's just about timing the releases, which is cool. Wonder. Okay, and then we're coming through here, and this one's gonna be pretty forgiving, right? Like I could let go kind of late, hit this mat, and sort of cheese my way around. Yeah, I don't mind that though. That's cool. This can be another one where, oops, where score is gonna be. Well, no, actually. I mean, you could do a trick right there. Now, the chalk is you need to get swinging here so you can swing around and collect it like that, and then find your way down through. And it's all going to be about this flip right here, right? That was 6,000 points. Oh no, thought I was going to catch my knees there. And you can probably do some kind of trick here. Oh, that was something right there. Let's go up. And what's gonna happen here? We're gonna open up. Come through. Okay, 17,000 is doable, but only with a very lucky flip there on the start. Alright, so let's look at this score. Okay, so no score on that one is what I want. And then we're saying, yeah, you're gonna let go here and do like a couple flips to catch on. 15,000. Try it again. what do you get without necessarily doing any flips? Because you're going to get some score just from airtime, I think, in this case. Yeah, you get 4,000, almost 5,000 just from doing it. So we're just going to say do something more than that, right? Yeah. All right. So we're saying, yeah, that's pretty close. 5,000 might actually be the number. Now let's plug this one more time. Or time. Is there any way to go fast on this? I don't know. So this is all very deterministic timing here. It's really just this last bit. Like if you go like this and get your hands to it, that was 15.6. Now what about, can I flip myself a little bit and get the hands down quick? What was that, 15.6? This level, I mean, I guess I could ask you to try and like just cheese it. Like if we go like this, come around here, skip it. Like I might be able to make it all the way over there. That's pretty extreme though. Even that's not going to be, well, I slowed down time there. Okay, what about this? What if on this one we get going? Yeah, that wasn't any faster. That was a nice beef though. Yeah, okay. So I'm just gonna give you this one, you know, like, yeah, 20 seconds is totally fine. Okay, cool. All right, well, we got the 2 levels today. That is not bad. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up for today. Thanks for dropping by. I'll be back again tomorrow. So my schedule is basically on weekdays here in California time, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. 1 hour every day. And then on Saturdays, I tend to get in a little more time. Oh, hey, Sympathy. Thanks for the lurk. Oh, Sympathy, quick. Did you watch it? Tell me you watched it. Unless you already left. Watch the funny video. I'm Sympathy, I'm talking about Hamilton. That I had the pleasure of notifying you was on Disney Plus. Come on. What's the funny video? Oh, okay, this Friday. All right. I'll remember to ask you what you thought then. Next week. All right. So yes, I'll be back tomorrow morning, and looks like what we're gonna do. I think tomorrow, the trajectory preview. It's time to give it a little revamp. So we're gonna be doing some shadery stuff tomorrow, I think, and then. Hopefully if I finish that before the hour's up, then we can hit a few more levels and keep making progress like this. This is going good. All right. So thank you very much for dropping by, and I will be back tomorrow. Have a good day.